Okay, welcome back everyone. So today I want to talk about alcohol and specifically the different relationships that you can with alcohol and the spiritual realm too. Because for the longest time for me, I just thought it was something that is really for recreational use. Obviously, I've always known about alcohol in the spiritual realm and how it lowers your vibration and frequency, and entities are able to get more easily attached to you. But for me, I noticed there is this pattern, and basically what happens, I can have maybe like 3 drinks and still be fine. I'm still like extremely self-aware. My consciousness is all still intact. I'm not like acting necessarily out of character. But once it goes past a certain limit or there's shots involved, I can tell this darkness, you can call it my shadow aspect, and we all have one. It's that thing that you think about but you'll never really act on it, or you may judge deeply people in your life but you never like tell them because it's like a very negative thought to have. And everyone has a shadow aspect, okay? I don't think this is anything that needs to be deemed as, oh my god, that's so evil and demonic. I've worked really hard actually to integrate my darkness and shadow aspect as well. But I will say, once I go past that limit, there's it comes out like full force. And this past weekend, I ended up going out with one of my friends, which I don't really know him that well. That's the thing. Like, this was our first one-on-one together. Mind you, we've hung out in a group prior multiple times. And I can tell I get very argumentative when I drink, or I'm way more willing to be extremely combative with people or to stand my ground, where I do that as well when I'm sober, but I do it for things that I actually really, really care about, or I have like an actual reason to. This will happen though when I'm intoxicated, just for like minor, minimal things. And another thing I noticed too is this element of myself of like sexuality and desire, and like giving into this very lustful energy. And there are a few moments where I could like really like tap in and see where I was using that kind of as a way to maybe like get the upper hand, or to like give into power. And obviously that is a part of me, but I guess what happens when we're intoxicated, like these entities that already have this maybe soul signature are like hovering over you, whether you're at a bar, a restaurant, or like a crowded event, and they'll come and be able to tap in and like use that to their advantage and power too. Because there's an element where it feels like, yes, this is a part of me, but would I necessarily be acting in that way if I was not intoxicated? Probably not. And anything that alters your state of mind or being, I truly, truly do believe is putting you into another dimension, another realm, and you're able to see things that we're not able to see on this plane or dimension. And for whatever reason, I don't know exactly what it is about alcohol. I mean, I know like alcohol means spirits and all of that. I just wish that I could like tap into something and ask like the divine, like tell me all about alcohol. Like, why was it even created? Like, what did this do for people? And like, did people in the past use this in a certain way? I need to go or dive way more into it. But another thing I find too is like alcohol, it makes you like loosen up, where you're way more willing to maybe be confident or tap into like a version of yourself that just feels more like fearless. And I think if you're not able to do that when you're sober, and you're only able to do that when you're intoxicated, there is definitely a crutch there for sure. And I think people that have anxiety, that's like extremely hard to, you know, navigate or whatever. What really helped me, because I had like crippling social anxiety at one point in my life, was I would visualize doing whatever I was doing before I would go and do that thing, and I would reenact it, and I would feel my most powerful God source state. And I would take ashwagandha sometimes as well, and over time you just start like repeating this process over and over for you. It just becomes your natural state of being, and you need to incorporate whatever makes you feel the most confident. It doesn't even have to be on alcohol. Maybe you smoke weed or do like other substances or whatever, but incorporating that feeling of feeling extremely confident, you need to incorporate it when you're sober as well. And it's a skill that you practice over and over and over. Yeah, I just had a lot of realizations when it comes to alcohol and the spiritual realm, which I've always known this. I just don't think I understood like how severe it was, because I wouldn't say I felt like an entity inside of me, but I definitely could, like, I was in my body still, but I could tell there was this like very sexual, lustful energy that was like fueling me at the same time, and I was like acting upon that and giving into it as well, like basically saying yes to it, where maybe if I was less intoxicated, or maybe if I was sober, I don't know if I would have done that still, but I definitely kind of did have a wake-up call in a way of like, oh, there's like more consciousness, more entities around me when I am in this state of being. And it's just something to like be mindful of and aware, because I mean, you have no clue what can happen to you. Thankfully I was with someone that I knew, but yeah, just be careful out there, guys. Like, if you have any stories about, you know, noticing spirits when you're in this like altered state of being, or like your own experience with alcohol, please comment down below, because I love hearing people's stories about like what they went through, specifically when it deals to like the spiritual realm or like connection to substances and stuff. We can learn so much from each other.